Hi, welcome to Web Design Project. This is a list of suggestions how you can use this video. The notes for this video can be found here at this URL, which is loaded here. All right, let's see where we stopped. So we want the site structure to look like this. All right, so this is a pretty simple site structure. Two levels for 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and one level for 2 of them. No search, nothing. No home and all that. So if you look at what we have now, okay, we have a navbar here. We don't really need that. The only one we need is probably drop down. Okay, and we don't need a search. Let's get rid of the search first. Okay, that's the easiest thing to get rid of. So if you come over here, look at the code, we have a form, okay, which is the search, right? This is the search button and all the good stuff. You can just highlight it and press the delete button to delete it. Control S to, let me get rid of this. I don't think I need this for now. Control S to save. Okay. Come back here, reload. All right, the search button is gone. That's good. We also don't need the navbar. Okay. So come back here. We have left. We have a navigation class, and we definitely need this. All right, div container fluid. We need this, and we have a link called the navbar. You can make a home page here. That will work. But if we don't need it, we can just get rid of this. Control S to save. So that is gone. Okay, and then we have a drop down, we have disabled and all that, and we have a home and link. So okay, let's make things not so complicated. All right, so definitely we need this. This makes the whole thing work. Okay. And then we have we need this. All right, and then the whole thing is just a big UL tag. Can you see that? The main thing is just the UL and LI. Okay, so we have a home and we have active class. If we don't want to make it so complicated, we can just get rid of this whole LI is for the home. So if you get rid of that, Control S to save. Come back here. The home is gone. So you have a link, you have a drop down, and disable. I probably don't need the disable. I just need the link and the drop down. So this link is going to work. Right? This is pretty cool. This is the link to the page. And then we have a drop down menu. This is pretty cool. We can use that. The disable, the only place that is disabled is there's a disable class here. We don't really need it, but if we need it, we can always bring it back. Because this one is pretty similar to the link, right? You can see that. So let's just get rid of the disabled. Control S to save. So we have the drop down and we have the link. Okay, and let's see what we want to achieve. What we want to achieve is here, right? Preschool and contact us. So let's do the easiest thing first. Let's do the two preschool and contact us. We need to move the link to the back. Come back here. All right, so move the link, Control X to cut. This is the LI that we need, and then come back here, Control V to paste. All right, and then copy this. So here we have our preschool and contact us. So change this to preschool. Control S to save. Come back here. All right, we have our preschool and contact us. Obviously, the color is wrong. We're going to fix that. Okay. Let's look at the drop down. We don't need a divider here. So let's do the first one, home, but no divider. Okay. So come back here. We don't need the divider class. So this whole LI is responsible to the drop down. Okay. So obviously it's not called drop down, it's called home. Right. Let me just make this thing smaller. All right. So let's see. This is called home. And then we don't need a divider, so just get rid of this. Use the shift key to select, use the shift arrow to select everything and delete this. So the first one is called service opportunities. Maybe I can just copy. Control C, Control V, newsletters, Facebook group, Control S to save. So come back here. Okay, so that is good, but we need Google Plus. Psst. All right, so come back here. Copy the whole thing. Paste here. All right, the last one is Google Plus. Control S to save. Reload. All right, that looks good. So we finished the first one. The next three is pretty straightforward. It's just a copying operation, right? Come back here. So we just need to repeat this 3 times. Control C to copy. Control V to paste. Control V to paste. Control S to save. Come back here, reload. So we have home 4 times. So let's fix this 3. Okay. Come back here. So this is the first home. Let's do the second home, right? So second one is the visitors. very fast. Facilities use. Plan legal clinic. Get rid of this. Control S to save. Come back here, reload. So visitors is good. So let's try the worship. Control C, Control V. 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 Okay, and finally the education. Youth. Sunday school. Confirmation class. Delete the last one. Control S to save. Come back here and reload. Okay, so it looks good except that the color is off. So we want to make this blend in with the background. So let's come back here, look at the style.css. So look at the style.css and scroll it down. Okay. And we have all the navigation, and all that. Okay, so we have all the code for that. So we're going to add a code to the bottom. Okay, the first thing we want to change is the link. Okay, so if you look at the okay, I don't need this anymore. Let me just close this, make this bigger. All right, if you look at the link, is called nav. Okay, you go to the nav and go down to the A. Right, so if you want the A, it can be a navigation item, and then it can be a nav bar, and then your column 6 navigation. So you can go all the way down from here. Okay, column 6 navigation, nav bar, and then we can take the nav item and we can take the A. All right, we can just change that. Okay, so we can say for a row, we can go down to the descendant column large 6, but they are at the same level navigation, so no space. Space again, descendant nav bar. Space again, nav item. And A. The first is we want to change the color. Okay, so we want to change the color to, so let's say some yellow color. Control S to save, come back here, reload. So all the links will change to yellow. All right, and then we want to add drop text shadow, change the font and all that. So let's do that. I'm not going to type everything. My video is going to get too long, so I'm just say you type this in. Okay, that would change the text shadow and the font size. Come back here, reload. All right, that looks good, except that the background color is bad, and hover doesn't look right. Okay, so we want to change the hover color. We want to change the background color. So so let's do one at a time. So the first thing we want to do is we want to do we want to do the drop down menu class. All right, and then we want to do the A hover. Let's do the drop down menu class first. Okay, so come back here. Same thing, right? Row column 6 navigation, left bar. But instead of a navigation item, we want to change the drop down menu. Something dark, I guess. Same as the background. So now you can see the background is changed, but the mouse over is not. Sorry, the hover is not. So hover is not good. So let's say come over here and say that. Let me just copy the whole thing. So navbar a different dark color. Of course, if you do this at home, you have to pick the color, but since I know what I want, I just change it. All right. Okay, so we're almost done here. So as you can see here, the text is running a little bit out of space, so we can fix that by say that the navigation item white space, no rep. That will fix that. But then the background is really dark. I actually want the background of what the website is, not this one. So I think we can try to change it here, or we can just go to the source code and say, hey, there is some code here controls that. So we have a navigation dark, but background dark, we don't need that. Get rid of that. In HTML, come back here and reload. Okay, that looks really good. So what if you want 2 pages? So this is a template page, right? Before we do 2 pages, let's talk a little bit about the validation. So you come over here and go to Markup Validator, do it by file upload, go and browse for your .33 index. Okay, so obviously they don't like something, right? They say, hey, duplicate ID. All right, you cannot keep having the same drop-down ID, so we have to fix that. That's why you need validation, right? So you come back here, you say, hey, what's the problem here? 57 navigation drop-down. So you come over here. As you can see, the first one, you call it navigation drop-down 45. All right, and then the second one you call it navigation drop-down. The third one you call it navigation drop-down ID. So technically you repeat the ID 4 times. All right, so let's fix that. Let's go to 40. The first one, ID, instead of navigation drop-down, _1, navigation drop-down 1, but you also have to change this one here. The second one, let's call it 2. 2. Third one, let's call it 3. 3, and then 4. Control S to save, double check, make sure it still works. Still works, right? Come back here. Browse. Check. All right, pass. So you are good. And then let's do the CSS validation. Come back here, CSS validation, browse, C10. All right, CSS pass. So finish. So now you have a template file in Church 33 navigation. So what next, right? So now you need to decide the names for all the pages you want. For example, your home is obviously called index.html, right? Or index.php if you're building a PHP page. And then your service opportunity is called service. So now you need to fill up all the names of the files. Okay. And then you make copy of the index.html to multiple files. And then the link should work. All right. And then you change the content. And then the link works. Right, when you click on service opportunity second page, then you change the content of the second page, assume it's in this content area, and then you go to the third page, change the content of the third page. So by that you make multiple pages. Okay, if you work with server-side languages like PHP or .NET, you may want to put the link and the middle navigation in a common file and include them, so that you don't have to keep changing all the files when the link changes. But that is not what we want to cover in this class. That's a totally different class. So okay, so this is the last video we want to make. Sorry, the last video getting a little bit long because I want to just finish it. So that's the last video of this video series. Yay, we finished. So what's next? If you want to make multiple files, okay, first you fill up the file names. Fill up file names for links here. Then you make copy of your index. Rename new files to correspond to the links. Okay, so once your links works, check your links works, change content of new files. But that is just for static pages. What if you want to make things easier? So for the future, if you do PHP or .NET, okay, you may want to put links, that means all the navigations in a file, and then load the file in all files. So you don't have to keep, so when there's an update of link, you don't have to go to like 20 files to change them. But that is okay, that is not to be covered here. That's for the future. All right, if you want to use this on with a server-side programming language. Okay, so that's the end of the video series. Sorry, the last video ran a bit long, but we finished everything. All right, thanks for watching. See you somewhere else. Bye.